Very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the Lazarus Motor Show. My name is Steven Siegel, and I will be your host for the next couple of minutes as we dive into this week's episode. So, those of you that are out there, I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. It's been a very, very hot weekend. It's been great to actually have this heat, but I do wonder what it's going to be like in December when it's vacation time and everyone is potentially maybe traveling or staying at home and enjoying the outdoors. And that's part of obviously what's going to be happening over the next couple of months. We've seen it with regards to the lockdown. Everyone is getting out and about. And that's why we're going to be chatting about Jaguar and Land Rover in the next couple of episodes. This week, we're going to be diving into Jaguar. I'm going to be talking about some of the pledges that some of the senior team out in Jaguar in Jaguar head office out in the UK, they're going to give you some pledges and tell you what they're looking at, especially during this COVID time. I think there's been a lot of, room for thought. A lot of people have changed their way of thinking and started thinking out of the box a little bit more, especially when you're at home. And I think home sometimes gives you your most creative edges. Not being in the office. I know a lot of us don't like being in the office, but some of us love being in the office, and that's where we thrive. But through this COVID pandemic, we've seen amazing things, amazing new businesses starting out, amazing new trends. And Jaguar is one of them that's picked up, and you'll see it's got beautiful new trends that are coming out and about. So I'm going to be jumping onto it this week with regards to it. So we're going to be talking Jaguar. Then I'm going to be looking at Land Rover next week. And then we're going to be jumping into the vehicles. So to start off this episode, have a look at this video here.
As children, we all believed cars could fly. No one could tell us they couldn't. We were free to dream, to invent. In our minds, we were creators of the future. We were fearless in our thinking then. We're fearless in our thinking now. And because of that, we drive progress. We make the ordinary extraordinary. Those wings may be gone now, but we can still fly.
Absolutely. So that's where it's coming out from, and it's redeveloping, redesigning, and building for future, building for change, and building to create things and experiences that will drive you to the next thing. So with regards to that, I'm going to be showing you, and you would have seen there, we had Julian Thompson, that is the design director. He's going to be giving us some words, obviously, in the show. So let's cross over to that, where Julian Thompson, the lead designer, or director.
I pledge to honour the responsibility we have to people all across the world. The dreadful events of the last few months have given us a natural break where we've been able to step back from just the hustle and bustle of everyday life and really evaluate what's special. And we've seen in the past, when some of these awful events have led to great periods of reflection, but also like a design renaissance, when people have a fresh look at what they do and why they do it. And positively, I really hope that coming out of this, that people will come back to it refreshed, full of ideas, but some real clarity about what's important in the world. Design is not just about designing a beautiful looking object, but its design is also to try and influence how people use products and which products they actually believe in. So sustainability, the choice of materials, the amount of damage due to the planet, how we message all those things, how we actually execute our designs, how we actually manufacture them is more important than ever. And Jaguar is really at the forefront of this way of thinking.
So you'll see from that video there, Julian Thompson showing that obviously we're really looking at nature, we're looking at life, we're looking at how to become more sustainability, but how to enjoy it as well. And obviously he is the design director for Jaguar. So great leading from the top. And then you'll see we're going to be chatting, we're going to have a video from Lizette Drucker, which is senior design strategist. And let's see what she had to say.
I pledge to accelerate positive change. We are having to face unimaginable challenges right now, and while we want to move forward and go back to a normal that we're maybe more familiar with, we have to ask ourselves, was that normal working for us in the first place? I think what we will take away from this is really noticing the beauty in the small, in the everyday, not taking things for granted, and making sure to take the time to pause, to reflect, to really think about where we are going. What we've often seen in historical examples is that times of crisis accelerate innovation, but also design thrives in disruption. This is a really big opportunity for designers to think differently and to act differently. During this time, we've had to become comfortable in ambiguity. We've had to realize that we're actually a lot stronger than we thought, that we're a lot more resilient than we ever imagined. And all of this leads us to see the world in a completely new light.
So absolutely, and it's so true. I mean, how many of you now have been sitting at home thinking of new ways of doing things, new ways of doing business, and some of you that obviously are directors of companies have seen that, trusting people to be able to work from home and seeing that productivity actually people becoming more productive, and the change has really been sometimes obviously for the good. Unfortunately, yes, it is not obviously always good with regards to the outcomes with regards to the pandemic right now, but it does, if you're driven and you're positive and you really want to push forward, you'll see that's where innovation comes. And exactly with disruption comes a lot of disruption, but a lot of good and a lot of free thinking, I think, is coming out of it. I mean, how many of you out there that have looked at things and just become more creative than you are now? And a lot of business have had to become more creative. Now, the next person that's going to come and say his pledge, I really love his ways. He's got absolute love for sneakers. You're going to see it now. A real creator. It's Andrea Rosati, which is a brand design manager. Love his energy. Love what he's got to talk about. So just have a look here.
I pledge to challenge conventions. I think we today live in a world where actually there's not any more business as usual. There's not any more life as usual. I also truly think that this is the most exciting part, and we as people need to change. I don't want just to sit down and do my own job. I want to change the future. I'm a sneakerhead, so I have a huge passion for sportswears and sneaker. And I think that there are so many brands that are doing so much in terms of processes, sustainability, new technologies. I'm always inspired by them, and I'm trying to filter that inspiration within the automotive industry. And then I just want to make something that has got cultural relevance for the future. So every time I'm doing a new project, I always think about what is the meaning behind what you touch and what you feel, what is the story of substance that that material or that project has.
What I love seeing with regards to the design side of things, and especially with Andrea that he mentioned, you would have seen he's pulling inspiration from various different brands, various different categories to be able to put together the most beautiful Jaguars on the road. And that's, I think, important with a lot of businesses. Is a lot of the time when companies go out there, they focus on the automotive industry or they focus on whatever industry they're in. But coming from a corporate background, my corporate background, and being head of customer experience and getting involved with customer experience, is brands need to evolve. Companies have to evolve by not just thinking in their same pool. It's about thinking outside the pool, seeing what's happening in categories and in channels that are not similar to your own. So, I mean, looking at sneakers, sneakers lead fashion, looking at all different industries and saying, what are the key trends and what are the global trends that are happening there, and how can we implement them? And I see Andrea's got a very good handle and a touch on that. And that's why you'll see Jaguar's really leading the charge when it comes to their beautiful design. You'll see the attention to detail is phenomenal, but again, futuristic. I mean, you would have seen that in Julian Thompson's video. I mean, check it. You saw them using augmented reality and virtual reality with designs. It is phenomenal what Jaguar puts into their vehicles. All right, and then the next person is someone that obviously has really been put at the forefront. It's Pavan Patel. He's the exterior design manager. Now, that's where things have changed. You would have seen the new facelift on the F-Types, on the Range Rovers, the Land Rovers, all of that. And this is the exterior design manager, Pavan Patel. So have a look at what he has to say.
I pledge to adapt and embrace change. As soon as the pandemic happened, everyone had to leave the studio, and instantly we were making sure that we were collaborating at home. It was a surreal experience, sketching from your kitchen table. But what it did make me realise is that we can actually be creative anywhere. I feel like now we can spend time at home, be creative, and come in the studio and share our ideas, because collaboration is where we actually create cars that people love. And that's what the studio does for us. It creates collaboration. People are at the heart of what we create at Jaguar. And that for me is what a luxury product is. Creating a car is one thing, but creating a unique experience is what makes Jaguar Jaguar. And that's what I think we can do going forwards. We can make sure that people are at the heart of everything we create. And that's exactly what you learn having been away from that for a little while.
I absolutely love what he says with regards to it. Is anyone can create a car, but it's about creating that experience that really takes you to the next level. And that's what Jaguar is about. It's about pushing that experience. It's about taking people on a ride, a life ride. It's a journey of exploration. It's a journey of exhilaration. And that's what it's all about. And you would have seen, I mean, those of you that have driven the F-Types, you would feel that roar of that F-Types engine. It takes you out to like an out of body kind of sensation. So really focusing on that, that experiencing the brand and experiencing. And I think through experiencing stuff, you build community, and that community of people that have experienced Jaguar are coming together and doing things. And that's what it's all about. So you must keep an eye open. Those of you that are out there that want to experience Jaguar, make sure you contact us and send a DM. Madeleine's out there. Go and have a look at laz.co.za, or go and obviously look at the Facebook page where you are now. Just send us a message, because there are Jaguar experiences where you can experience the Jaguar lifestyle, experience Jaguar itself. And it really, once you get into that, you'll absolutely love it. And remember, the experience is not just for the people that can go and afford it. If you're aspiring to have a Jaguar, go there, experience a brand. There's beautiful clothing, there's beautiful accessories. Immerse yourself in the brand, because that's what it's about. It's experiencing. It's about, getting to the heart of what people love and what people want. All right. And then, so that was obviously from an outside perspective. Now we get into the materials and color, and that's where Louise Thornburn is going to be chatting to us, or chatting in the next video, and obviously giving her pledge. She's the color and material designer. So have a look at what Louise had to say.
I pledge to be a more considerate and reflective person. Being from Glasgow, I never really thought that the distance was an issue, but then when lockdown happened, that's when I became aware of how far away we were. Even the colleagues that we take for granted that we see every day, we don't see every day in lockdown. Working from home, you reprioritise different things. So now comfort, well-being, safety, security, that's like a whole new environment and a new thing that we have to consider and think about, and really try and direct that into what we are doing, what we're designing. We interact with the cars differently to maybe what we did before. We're looking for different things. The customer will be looking for different things, and you have to provide them a safe, secure, but comfortable and equally beautiful environment. And I definitely think there's room for that to be implemented into the Jaguars of the future.
So absolutely, it's an environment that they're designing. It's in that all part of that whole experience, and it's great to see. I mean, those are some of the pledges that have come out. This is new, obviously, to Jaguar, and I think these were posted only about a day or two ago. So this whole pledge about what each of the senior right through to obviously various different departments and what they're pledging for Jaguar moving forward. And I think it's a great thing. I think where we are right now as a unified world is we're very sensitive with regards to things. We this pandemic has shook us, and we kind of reevaluating what, how, and we're all wanting to be part of a community. We were all wanting to be part of something bigger, better, and enjoying our lives. We want to enjoy that side of things, and that's what Jaguar's headed to. They are creating experiences with their vehicles, environments within the vehicle that makes you feel what it's all about and feel that luxury, because it is a luxury brand, and being a luxury brand, it affords you the right to be able to have amazing things designed in your vehicle. So we did play this last week, and I'm going to play it again just so you can have a look at, because I think it ties in. So I'm going to play the video of the F-Type, and just for the feel and experience behind it before I shut off on this show, and then we move on to the next one. So here we go. Have a look at the new Jaguar F-Type advert. Now, that is a car that I want to jump into. But you can see everything from how you start up the vehicle, how the vehicle responds to you on the startup, right through to the actual drive and ending of your drive. So those of you that want to experience Jaguar and you want to have some fun with it, let me quickly show you how you can get onto the website. So let me just share this for you. So you go to laz.co.za. This is obviously care of the Lazarus Motor Show, is care of the Lazarus Motor Company, an amazing dealership, a family-owned dealership, a host of dealerships. And you'll see here, if you want to go and have a look at, obviously, the Jaguar side of things, go into dealers and click on Jaguar. And what you end up doing is you just go through to the Jaguar website. It's going to come up there. And then you can go and have a look at the various different things or various cars that they have, specials, and information with regards to everything from service onto the used side of things, obviously. And it's obviously telling you some of the new vehicles that have come out. So that there is our journey with Jaguar this week. It's just a short one. I wanted to introduce you to Jaguar. Next week, we're going to introduce you to Land Rover, similar sort of way. And then we jump into driving the vehicles and giving you some feedback on some of the latest, greatest vehicles on offer from both Jaguar as well as Land Rover. But this is the Jaguar journey, part of it. Follow it. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal history, a phenomenal heritage, and it's one that you should have a look out for. Go and have a look at Jaguar and check out what they're all about. From me, Steven Siegel, I hope you had a great time. Thank you again. I see Fani was on here, Madeleine, Adele. My wife's always following on there. That's great. I love it. Thank you so much. And then, Fani, geez, I still owe you something because you are always on and you are absolute legend. For those of you that also follow, thank you very much for following and for watching. It's great to have you part of the family. And we're looking forward to great things, definitely in season 2, when we're going to be getting out and about. Obviously, hopefully the restrictions are going to be a lot less and we're able to do more things. But until then, have a safe time. Have a great rest of your Sunday afternoon. It's been an absolute pleasure joining you and having you come and join me on this experience. Thank you so much and all the best from me, Steven Siegel, and the Lazarus Motor Show. Have a great Sunday afternoon.